There is dominion in finishing. What is that thing you have been promising yourself that you would finish? Is it the side hustle, the passion project, the business you're going to launch? In today's show, I'm going to share 3 strategies that I use to take dominion by completing a project. Guys, let's finish what we start. Hey guys, welcome to Raising the Standard, leadership, mindset, and development for the kingdom man. And I want to share something with you. I just saw a shocking statistic. I just saw that there's 81% of Americans feel they have a book in them and that they should write it. So think about it. That's 81% of Americans are walking around right now carrying a message. They have an aspiration, they have a goal or a dream that they will be an author one day and they will release a book. Now, hang with me if you're saying, Josh, I don't want to write a book. That's cool. I just want you to get this principle. That's 200 million people who aspire to authorship. That's a wild number. But when we look at how many books are released, it's not even close to that. So that means many people have this dream for themselves. They have this goal for themselves. And maybe they even start it. Maybe they started it in their mind by dreaming about it. Maybe some have taken it to sketch it out. They have the outline for their book. They pick the title, but they never put pen to paper. They never hit those keys on the computer, and they certainly never release their book. Now, it's not just with authors. This is with everything. I wanted to see if it was similar for people who are reading books. And this is what I found. Only 60% of books that are purchased are ever opened. Think about that for a minute. That's over half the books that are purchased don't even get opened. No one even looks at the table of contents or starts to read the book. And that says nothing about the books that are even finished. So many people buy a book, fewer open the book, and much, much fewer complete or finish the book. So what I've learned a few years ago, and I want to share it with you, is that statement that I dropped at the beginning of this show. And the statement is, there is dominion in finishing. I first learned this from Dan McCullum. He wrote an excellent book called Time Bending. I'll drop it in the notes below. And I had the chance to speak with him, and I shared with him how when he shared that statement, that when he dropped that statement, there is dominion in finishing, that I've used that personally to power through projects that I've committed myself to. In fact, when I was writing the book, The Standard, Discovering Jesus as the Standard for Masculinity, I had on my whiteboard in my office in big letters, there is dominion in finishing. And I'd be forced to look at that every day and realizing that every time I write and every time I take one step closer to completing my book and launching what I wanted to get into the world, I was taking dominion not only in life, I was taking dominion within myself. Because it's easier to start something than it is to finish. You know, there's many people that start projects. Think about it for a minute. How many times have you started something, or maybe you even gave a verbal commitment of, you want to do that one day. I'm going to do this someday. Maybe you've come a little bit closer. Maybe you've actually started the actual work, but you still can't get it across the finish line. That is what I run into the most when I'm speaking to other guys that are frustrated because they have a dream, they have a vision, but they have not released it. They have not done the work. They have not sat down and learned how to take dominion over themselves with completing a project and seeing it all the way through. And guys, this is tied into masculinity. This is tied into manhood, to be able to be a man of your word, not only with those you come in contact with every day, but also to be a man of your word with yourself, with your commitments. Now, there's so much ground that's gained when you complete a project. There's ground that's gained within yourself because you're dealing with things that are distracting you. And it requires you to stay focused on the task. It requires something of you, and there's a price to be paid, because there's no price to be paid when you start something. There's no price to be paid by saying, I want to do this, or my desire is to do this one day. The price is paid when you actually complete the work and you finish it. Now, we know there are distractions around us at every corner, at every turn. And I want to share something really powerful that the Apostle Paul tells his mentee, Timothy, in 2 Timothy 2:4. And listen to this powerful metaphor and this word picture that he paints for Timothy. No soldier in active service entangles himself in the affairs of everyday life. I love the way the Passion Translation states this. Every soldier called to active duty must divorce himself from the distractions of this world so that he may fully satisfy the one who chose him. So we know as Christian men that when we put our hand to something and that when we do work, we're doing all our work as unto God. We're doing our work with a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning, a sense of mission. And so everything you do, I want you to reframe what you're working on and see it as bringing glory to the Creator, to God who created you. And if you want to go deeper into this concept of dominion and reflecting God's image, standard, and likeness, you're going to want to go back and check out the episodes, God's Commands for Man and All Men Must Do This. I love what Paul says here. Divorce yourself from distractions. What's distracting you that's taking you away from your mission? What's distracting you right now that's holding you back from stepping into a place of more authority? Because that is directly related to dominion. When we talk about dominion, it is authority. When you complete something, you automatically gain authority in that area. When I wrote the book, The Standard, Discovering Jesus is the Standard for Masculinity, I not only took dominion over myself, dominion over my appetites, over the things I wanted to do because I said no to other things so I could say yes to writing the book. I also stepped in to more authority in my life because I was honoring a promise. I was honoring a commitment that I made to myself. So think about that when you're thinking about taking on your task and completing your project. So now I want to give you 3 steps that I personally have used and I use with other people to help them see the finish line and get the vision to finish what they start. Step number 1, get really clear on what you want. What's the why behind it? Why do you want to do the project that you want to do? Why do you want to write the book? Why do you want to build the thing that you're building? Whatever that is, whether this is like literally a building project or it's something that you want to launch as a business or it's something else. Maybe it's something that you just promised yourself you want to do and you haven't done it yet. Get really clear on the why. Another thing I do, and I also do this with guys that I work with, is take yourself to that feeling, that emotional state of what it's going to feel like when you complete the goal. Think about it right now. How are you going to feel when you finish this thing that you want to finish? What's that going to feel like? What sense of accomplishment is that going to bring you? What doors is that going to open for you? And I promise you, when you connect with that and you really get down to the why of why you want to do it, that's a powerful force to drive you over the finish line with what you're seeking to accomplish. Okay, number 2, you have to prioritize. We just talked about Paul painting this picture of divorcing yourself from distractions. So what are you prioritizing and what are you working on? And guys, what I've learned, and this is why I love going to the gym, I love training, is it's such a powerful metaphor for everything we do in life. But how do you get in shape? How do you build muscle? You do it 1 rep at a time. How do you adhere to a diet? You do it 1 bite at a time. So 1 step at a time is the mindset I want you to take as you look at this task in front of you that you want to complete. You know, I heard an awesome quote once. It said, we usually overestimate what we can accomplish in a defined time period. And I know I've done that. Everything in my life seems to take longer than what I personally projected. However, the second part of the quote is this: we underestimate what can be accomplished in a year. So if you think about this concept of being consistent day after day, putting the reps in, that is what will bring you closer to the finish line and bring you into that place of dominion when you finish what you start. Okay, the last thing I want to leave you with is execute by assigning a due date. So pick your date when you will be done. Open up your calendar, open up your phone, go to the calendar app, pick out the day you're going to be done. Be realistic and then announce it. Tell someone, whether you put it in your social feed or you tell a friend, but that automatically builds in accountability. When will you finish this thing? Share it with another brother of what you're doing and when it will be done. You don't have to share it with everyone, but you do have to share it with someone. And that level of accountability will help you as you complete your goal and take dominion by finishing. Hey guys, if you made it this far, I just want to let you know that I wrote this book called The Standard, Discovering Jesus as the Standard for Masculinity. When I think about manhood, when I think about what it means to be a man, real men finish what they start. Be a finisher today. Jesus was a finisher with everything he did. There's no question in my mind when he was building in that period of his life in the first 30 years that I'm sure he never started projects and did not finish. He saw things through because that is how he exemplified obedience and took dominion in his life before he stepped into the work that he was sent here to do. There was a process and there was a preparation. So you might look at some of the tasks in front of you right now and you might say, well, this isn't such a big deal. It doesn't matter if I finish. Be a finisher. This is part of your preparation process. Many of us who are listening and watching, you guys have aspirations, you have goals, you have dreams of things you want to accomplish, and it's the little things that we need to finish. Even the things you think that don't matter, even the things where you think someone's not watching or doesn't really make that much sense in the grand scheme of things, it does. Because what you do will determine what other opportunities you get. What you do today will open the door for other things that God will entrust into your hands. So finish what you start. Jesus is the ultimate finisher. He finished his work on the cross when he said, "It is finished." He is the model for manhood. He is the model and the template that we are to follow. So today, take dominion by finishing what you start. Hey guys, I wrote a book that went on to become a bestseller. It's called The Standard, Discovering Jesus as the Standard for Masculinity. I would love for you to get this. It's available on Amazon right now. But if you visit standard59.com, you can get the first chapter of the book for free. I want to give you the chapter called Jesus Has a Plan. And you need a plan as well. There's specific areas in your life that you will be attacked in. How do I know? Because Jesus was attacked in these areas as well, and there's a pattern to it. And I want to give you this chapter so you can see how Jesus effectively deploys a plan in his life and how he sets the standard for all men to follow and why we need a plan as well. If you want that chapter, go over to standard59.com and grab it. If you want to get the book, you can get the book on amazon.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and if something resonated with you, please leave a comment below. Let us know what it was. Tell us what you would like us to explore for future episodes. Go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and continue to raise the standard.